Space, the final frontier.
These are the voyages of the starship Snack! Seriously, this is what, the second Dodec profile on this channel? Thought everyone was gonna have it by this point. Hell, I thought I was gonna have it by this point, but no, I waited until Dawn of Majesty sneak peek for Space Snacks? Aliens. That's our intro. Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into Team Forbidden's YouTube page. It is I, Scott, otherwise known as Son of the Fanatic, back at you with sneak peek, sneak ahead, or snake ahead. Finally our second Dodec profile on this channel, the hybrid that I've been waiting for, Ogdo Alien.
Yeah, version.
Yeah, you heard that right, and it's not the this is a somewhat combo deck. It's not the it's not the Bish Bulkin version, no. But yeah, Ogdo Aliens. Just for some for those of you who may remember, Aliens has always been one of my favorite decks ever since Power of the Duelist came out. Back when they were still, you know, let's not beat around the bush. Aliens were trash when they first came out. I still liked them, but they were trash. Then I believe it wasn't until Golgar and Ammonite that the deck actually started picking up steam and actually got a whole bunch of good stuff there. Unfortunately, Golgar's not in this version of the deck, but there's a couple of different ways that you can build it. This is basically the start of, if you remember in Manny's deck profile for Dodec, what he called Reptile Link. So, yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So first off, we have the Ogdo Abyss, the Dodec Overlord. Just the one copy of him because he's like your big Dodec boss monster. Just for the whole thing of, you know, if he's on the field and he's summoned from the graveyard, quick effect, once while it's face up on the field, you just send every other monster on the field that was not special summoned from the graveyard to the graveyard. And you can summon him from the graveyard by attributing 3 monsters, but that's probably never going to come up. You're always going to summon it with something else. 1 Curse the Dodec Light, 1 Allier to the Dodec Dark. I mean, it's the basic Dodec engine at this point, complete with the 3 Nunus.
No-nos.
And no-ya. You basically use these to get the other one in the graveyard, and then just get your support and stuff from there. Free summon, free revival search, and then the Zoha, because he's the best other level 4. You don't run the other one. The other one is trash. This one just gets the surge. So yeah, that's it for the Dodec engine. Next up, my boys, the Aliens. I see a lot of people not running this card. I personally really love Alien Overlord, just because he's basically a free level 6. You have a lot of stuff in here that places A counters on the field, and if you have any 2 counters, you can just remove them and special summon him. And then he can just place A counters on every monster that the opponent has out. So yeah, a lot of the, I don't think we've actually had aliens on the channel before, so I suppose I should explain that theme relatively. Again, their theme usually revolves around A counters. They'll have various effects that happen on if your opponent's monsters have A counters on them or not. This one is one of the many aliens that also has the effect where for every A counter that your opponent's monster has, if it battles an alien monster, they lose 300 attack and defense for each counter. Yes, those effects stack if you have another one, such as this alien kid boy.
The child.
Yep, the child! We have Baby Yoda, people, and he's got a blaster. Watch out. The alien kid basically puts an A counter on any opponent's monster that's special summoned. So, and then he has the 300 attack and defense stuff. 16, level 4. You run 2 of him because he's arguably the best level 4, aside from the new boy, Alien Stealth Buster. Why they expanded it from Alien Buster, I will never know. But it still sounds cool though. So they have oh wait, I think I know why, because Alien Buster's already a card. I think that's that double attacker one. But yeah, Alien Stealth Buster, what he does is if he's sent to the graveyard, by any means, that means by Link Summon as well, you target one monster on the field and place 2 8 counters on it. And then during any other turn except for the turn he's sent to the graveyard, you just banish him and pop a thing with 8 counters on it. And that does come up in combos and stuff, such as, I don't know, the Shock Trooper, which is now actually useful. And then to Freak Cinder. You gotta have Alien's best friend. I mean, the dog. Look at him, he's just so happy. Free Extender. You summon him whenever you normal summon an alien monster, which includes with the new Link monster, by the way. We'll get to him in a moment. You can special summon him, and then if your opponent has a monster out, you can just put 2 counters on it. Note that last effect is optional, so you can still use it if your opponent does not have a monster. He's a free extender. And speaking of reptile extenders, we have Dangerous Neck and Reptilian Lamia. These are your basic reptile extenders. If you want more info on these, go back to Manny's pure Dodec profile. To finish off the monsters, we have 3 copies of Big Forehead Bathwater Baby, the Demon Child herself. Ash Blossom and Trust. Do I really have to explain Ash Blossom by now? How many years has it been since she came out?
Yes.
And you don't want her to go off against you, so you're running the standard Gamma package. I mean, literally, Snake Rain resolves with this deck and you win. So, yeah, that's it for the rest. Speaking of Snake Rain, make it rain! Make it rain, the Serpents of Terror! The absolute atrocity! Indy, you better close your eyes and run the hell the other direction. Next we have 3 Dodec Water Lilies, the generic Reptile Mill Revival, if you have 5 or more different reptiles in your graveyard. Next, into the alien cards, we have 1 Dodec Ancient Ruins. A lot of people are opting not to run this. I'm running a little more alien focus on this build, if you guys can't tell. Because again, I just really like the theme. Dodec Ancient Ruins, I guess you can kind of view it as World Legacy Guard Dragon, before the card was even a thing. Except you can do this multiple times, if you have like multiple copies. And it's not on activation. You can just remove 2 8 counters whenever you want during your turn and then just summon an alien back. So the reason it's here is the new Link monster has an effect that searches any card that places 8 counters. Does not specify where, does not specify how. So you can literally search this card with the new, with Cosmic Slicer Zerol. Speaking of, there's also the A-Cell recombination device. Same deal, you can search it with Zerol, so it doesn't matter. You can also search the Overlord and the kid with it as well. And the dog. And the Stealth Buster. So literally the only aliens I'm running are the ones that you can put counters on that are actually decent. And because you're gonna have counters on your opponent's monsters a lot, we got 2 copies of Mysterious Triangle. Mysterious Triangle just destroys a monster on the field with an 8 counter, and then you can special summon a level 4 or lower alien, level 4 specifically alien monster from your deck. So Kid or Stealth Buster in this deck. Combination device, I just realized I didn't explain it. You target a face-up monster on the field, and then you send an alien monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then place counters on the targeted monster equal to the alien monster's level. And then you can banish it on any turn except for the turn that it was sent to the graveyard, and just search any alien card you want from your deck. So good! And next we have the 1 Call by the Grave, because we still only have the 1! Why? Why is this card still limited? There is no reason for this card to still be limited. Put it back to 3!
or just give us cards that doesn't here already.
Either that. Either or. Next, I've been playing around with this ratio for the trap cards. I'm running 3 traps in this deck. One of them is searchable, and generally you only resolve it once, but I've seen a lot of decks running 2, and that's Planet Pollutant Virus. Yeah, this is the other thing that got me into the alien deck, is aliens have a virus card. So basically what it does is you tribute an alien monster, and then destroy all face-up monsters that the opponent has out that don't have A counters on them. And then afterwards, for the next 3 turns, every monster that they summon has an A counter on it. This comes up with the new Zalur, which we'll get to him in a few moments. You can run 2 copies of this if you like. I think 3 would be a bit much, but I opted to run 2 of this card instead for more consistency, and that's Offering to the Snake Deity. Yes, these are the dual terminal ones. I've got these a long time ago, and I've just never got rid of them. I mean, this is basically Icarus attack for reptiles. Destroy a reptile, destroy 2 cards the opponent has out. I figured this would probably be more, useful than this most of the time. All right, that's it for the main deck. Main deck sets around 40 cards. Into the extra deck, because we have the Gamma package, I opted, you probably should run Omega here, considering, the Dodec stuff occasionally does get banished, and that way you can put it into the graveyard. My Omegas are unfortunately in other decks right now, so I opted to run this guy, Draco Berserker Ateni. He's arguably the second best level 8 in the game right now, unless you count Overlord Savage Dragon. So, anyways, that's the one synchro. You need 1 level 8 just in case. So for level 8s, I decided to run, we're starting off with the 2 King of the Feral Imps. I mean, it's a reptile deck. You can easily make rank 4s. This is your rank 4 you go into. We are also running the 97 package, which is my boy Draglubian, along with 38 Hope Harbinger, number 100 Numeron, and Heart Earth. Heart Earth you basically make if you go first. Heart Earth or 38 you make if you go first. Numeron you make if you go second, because you guys saw the Reptilian Tuner. She reduces a monster's attack to 0. The Reptilian Link, which we will get to in a few seconds, also reduces a monster's attack to 0. You play that, reduce to 0, make 97, make 100, and kill them.
9k to the face.
Yep, 9k right to the face. And because we have Ixies, Zeus! I mean, it's an Ixies deck. If you have it, you run this. Now, let's get into the links. The first one I'm going to start with is the Link 4. I have Unchained Abomination in here right now, mostly because my access code talkers are in other decks. But if you have access code talker, you should probably run access code talker here. But Abomination still works because you get combos off of stuff that gets destroyed, such as your Shock Troopers, or if your alien monsters get destroyed, you get counters on the Code A Ancient Ruins. He's just an all-around generic good Link 4. This should be access code talker if you have it. I'll just point that out there. 2 copies of the new boy, Cosmic Slicer Zerol. I only have 1 complaint about this card. Why is this a common? What the heck? Come on! You couldn't at least bump it up to super? Why? It was a rare in Japan. Come on, bump it up to super. But whatever. So basically this thing is new. It's got 2 major effects. The first thing is it requires any two reptile monsters to make. It's a Link 3. And then monsters your opponent controls with A counters are changed to defense position, and they cannot activate their effects.
So it's a skill drain, pretty much.
It's not skill drain. It's a little bit different, because if you...
Diet skill drain.
Semi-diet skill drain, yeah. So it basically stops your opponent's effects of monsters that have A counters from going off. So it's so good. Unfortunately, since Link monsters can't exist in defense position, they won't go to defense position. But if they have an A counter, their effects will still be negated. That is very important. Oh, the other thing is when it's Link summoned, you search for any card that places A counters. I touched on that earlier. So you can add the virus, you can add the Code A, you can add any of the alien monsters that I'm running. Oh, and I forgot, I lied. He doesn't have 2 effects. He has 3.
Because he's only 3.
He is Link 3, so he has 3 effects. So you can remove 2 A counters from anywhere and get an additional normal summon of an alien monster. Or reptile monster, actually, excuse me. It's generic reptile, yeah. Immediately after the effect resolves, normal summon 1 reptile monster.
Busted.
And that is not once per turn, by the way. Yeah, that's not once per turn. So you can, if you have multiple A counters on the field, you can normal summon multiples from your hand. Speaking of aliens, we have 2 Shock Trooper M-Frame. I dissed this card a lot when it first came out. It's actually somewhat decent now, because, you know, all the A counter placing and stuff. And plus, sort of small combo tutorial here. Stealth Buster does not specify your opponent's cards for popping them with A counters. So you can load a couple of A counters on M-Frame and opponent's monsters, banish Stealth Buster, pop him, and then you get to special summon non-link reptile monsters from your graveyard equal to the number of monsters your opponent controls that have A counters on them. You literally just extend your board with him. He is so good. And the other one that we have is we have the Reptilian Echidna, because you make her, make an opponent's monsters attack 0. Oh, let me just search reptiles from my deck for each 0 attack monster you have. Oh, what's that? Let me just make 97 to 100 and kill you? Sure thing, why not? So there's no side deck card for this deck just yet. If you want to try going around the Golgar, you probably can. You're probably going to want a bunch of floodgates for that one. That's the other way that you can build it. There's also the Bish Balkan version. If you guys would like to see the Bish Balkan version, please comment down below and let me know. If you'd like to see the Golgar version, comment down below and let me know. Golgar was my boy back in college. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell down below for notifications. As you can clearly see, as I've said in numerous videos so far, I currently, unfortunately, do not have a POW manga map or a field center, but that doesn't mean that you guys can't get one. Use the code Forbidden10 when going to POW manga mats and get 10% off your order. Stay cool, stay spacey, and we'll catch you guys later.